If you've been meaning to add motion to your illustration work, well, grab your iPad because I'm about to show you how you can use Adobe Fresco to animate your drawings. So let's jump over to my iPad. So here I have an illustration I created for the Adobe Content Authenticity team. Now, of course, it would be really fun to add some motion to it. And I feel like this illustration really lends itself to motion since it's kind of already like hinting at motion. So the first thing you want to do is open up the animation panel. So what I want to animate are the lines in the background, right? Like kind of like this rainbow effect. Now, one of the first ways you can animate is frame by frame animation, where you draw every frame that you want to play through. So if I want to create those lines, first I would need to isolate that, right? So by isolating these lines, I'm now able to animate layer by layer. So let me show you exactly how I did this. First, I made a new layer and I'm using the brush that I would use, and I'm going to draw the original lines how I would like them. And now I want to add the next frame. Hit plus down here, and now you can see in purple, that's the drawing in the previous frame, and this is called onion skinning. If you're not seeing this, you need to go into settings and make sure you have onion skin turned on, and you can choose how many frames back you want the onion skinning to go, right? So if I add 6 frames, then in the future, when I have 10 frames, it's going to show me the 6 frames beforehand. I like to just see 1 or 2 frames, so I'm going to leave it at that, and you can customize the opacity that you're seeing it in. I'm going to come back to the frames and the looping in a second. So from here, in the next frame, see how I'm on basically 2. This is the second frame in this layer. I'm going to draw the next frame of motion, right? So it's kind of fine in this case for it to be a little imperfect. I'm going to turn off actually the background so that I can really focus on the lines. So here's the first frame, the second frame that I drew, and then I would add 1 more here. I'm going to just continue what I think that motion would look like if it kept on moving. Okay, so here you've seen I've drawn 4 layers. If I go into my settings and I go to onion skinning, if I have 4 selected, it's going to show me all 4 of these at once, and I can change the opacity. From here, I'm going to hit play all, and there we can see it animating. Now, something you can do here is hit settings, and you can play with the frames per second. So if I go to 4, it's going to play all of those, quarter per second. If I want it to be a little bit faster, I could go up to, say, 8. That doubles the speed. And you can choose for it to loop. So it plays from 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 again, or you can have it boomerang, so it's going back and forth, which sometimes looks a little more natural. I'm going to hit boomerang. I think that's what makes sense in this instance. Now from here, I would go back and color all of those frames in, right? The black outlines are just kind of my guide. For every new frame I created for the drawing, I added the new color. That's how you would use the animation panel to create your frame by frame animation using onion skinning. The next thing I'm going to show is how you can use frame by frame with paths to create some added motion without having to animate every single path. What I'm going to do is I want to animate this little star, right? So the first thing I'm going to do is delete the star. And now I want to add a little sparkle. So I'm going to add a little sparkle here. And I have the animation panel open so I can see the frames that are happening, right? So I'm going to add another frame. I'm going to turn on onion skinning so we can see back 1 frame. And now I'm going to add a little circle. And again, this is just like a basic sparkle effect. Like everything else, let's play all, and that's how it's working. It's a little sparkle. What I want to do now using paths, which is the other option I have down here, is create a path that I want the sparkle to move on. So I'm going to hit path, and now I can draw the path that I want this animation to move on. Just like that. You see how it's following that path? It's really, really neat. I'm going to add another one, let's say here. So I've drawn 3 paths, and now that frame by frame animation of the sparkle plays on those 3 paths, which is so cool that I can draw it once and have it play over and over. The next thing I want to show you is that in the layer properties, I can now add even more effects here. I can do sparkle, which I think does additional twinkling if I wanted to. Breathe, which has some subtle effects. Bob, where it bobs on the line. Spin, where the animation spins on the path. And I don't have to have paths to use these motion presets. I could use it on a layer on its own. The other cool thing here that I really want to highlight is grow and shrink. So this allows the animation to grow as it moves through the frames and shrink. The cool thing here is that you can add multiples. So I can say have 10 going on at once. That's a little much. I think maybe 2 or 3 is plenty. I want to scatter it so they're not all right on that path, so the path isn't so obvious. And I can even add some ease in, ease out, and maybe some randomize. The layer properties in the motion panel really open up animation options for you without having to manually draw every single layer. So here I've added 6 sparkles, but I only drew 1, which is what's super powerful about the animation panel. Now, one more thing is exporting. If we go into the export panel, publish and export, we get all sorts of options here. If we go into motion, you have the option of exporting as MP4, GIF, or PNG sequence, which really depends on the use of the animation. For social media, MP4 works great. You also have the option to see how many times you want to loop this animation in your export, which is really great. So usually you only have the option to export as many frames as you animated, and so then you only get 12 seconds here. But if I hit 3, now I have a 36-second animation. Perfect. And I'm able to just hit generate frames, and it will generate those frames and allow me to go ahead and just save it right to my iPad in this case. All right, folks, that's all I have for you. I really recommend you jump into the animation panel on the last thing you drew and see the different ways you can use both frame-by-frame animation and the paths and animation properties to create some motion in your next drawing. Okay, see you in the next one. Bye.